Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh.
I made the donuts.
We make them at least twice every day.
Time to make the donuts.
Not a few kinds, like supermarket.
Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts.
But up to 52 varieties.
The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No
Well, good morning, everybody. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Rise and grind. Game time, Brian, otherwise known as the mailman. Yes, the mailman's in the house. Heading to work. Time to make the donuts is right. Running on empty, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry if everybody thought I was cranky last night. Hall of Fame Dacky, I was fine. It's just not many content creators will want to have Zoom, and people just keep not letting people talk. I'm not sure why people got to chime in as soon as somebody says something. Let it breathe a little bit. Let us get to our work. But again, I don't know that we'll do it tonight. Stay tuned. Me and Phil may just do it live. But anyway, that aside, everybody needs to relax. You know, I saw mock draft. Yeah, I picked Golden. You know, it's one of the hardest things. Golden went, 11 picks later to Green Bay? I told you I didn't really want wide receiver at that point. As the closer I got to draft, I knew they weren't going Hampton. So where were we going to go? This is not a good draft for high-end talent. And as for positional value, Tyler Booker is a plug-and-play right guard. Plug-and-play. Do you understand who's in our division? Does anybody that doesn't like the pick understand that you can go you could go bring back Walter Payton in his heyday, and you're not going to run if your offensive line interior is not creating holes. You sure as hell aren't going to be able to step up in the pocket and pass the ball if your offensive line. Everybody keeps bringing up Brock Hoffman. What does that tell you? Right? What does that tell you? They went out. Clayton Adams watched the tape. Brock Hoffman is a good backup for a few games. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to starting in the NFL, especially in the NFC East, where you got Dexter Lawrence, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, you know, you got the big boys in Washington. You know, I don't really understand. And just look at our schedule this year. We're playing Minnesota. I mean, just look at our schedule that's coming up. All the NFC East teams are playing studs. So, you get a plug-and-play guy. If you would have drafted Matthew Golden, there was bust potential there. Yes, there was. I like the kid, but he's done it for 6 games. Didn't we just draft that player last year? Didn't we just draft a player who hasn't emerged until towards, you know, his senior year, towards the end, in Tyler Guyton? Give me a guy. Again, I was on board with not taking an offensive lineman. I understand what everybody's saying, but I trust what they're telling me. Dallas drafts offensive linemen great. And don't listen to the trolls like Hamid who laugh and say the pick sucks. You don't have a clue, right? You don't have a clue, Hamid. You don't. Again, anybody that laughs and says a particular pick sucks on the day that the pick is made, you don't have a clue. I'm not going to hammer Jihad Campbell. I'm not. Jihad Campbell is the best linebacker. Now, I like Knight out of South Carolina better than Jihad Campbell. Jihad Campbell is a good player. He is. I'm not hammering the pick. He's coming off of shoulder surgery. Okay? It's not the best thing for a linebacker. He misses a lot in his gaps when it comes to, he's not very sideline to side. He's opposite. He's a downhill guy, kind of like who Dallas signed in free agency, and a Kenneth Murray. That's what Jihad Campbell reminds me of, a Kenneth Murray. So that's the vibes I'm getting. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Especially, he's going to help. He's going to help. I'm not going to crap on Jihad Campbell. You know, it is what it is. But, again, stop making the same mistake, people. All you people who hated the pick. You win with your interior and offense and defensive lines. That's how you win in the NFL. And if you want to have any chance, the fact that, now, listen, if Tyler Booker was gone, we would have had to reach for a player. We probably would have taken a wide receiver. So maybe you guys would be happy, right? We would have a wide receiver running around in patterns who can't get open because our quarterback is on his ass. So that was a pick for the running game. That was a pick for the wide receivers, the tight ends. That was a pick for the quarterback. So it is what it is. We will break down. I will go live probably 6:30 tonight. We will break down the best available. But a wide receiver, it was funny because I was just looking at the teams saying, well, Emeka Egbuka may not go in. I don't know that he would have went if the Bucs didn't take him. You know? So it is what it is. I kind of think the Bucs need defense. And I kind of think that you could have gotten a wide receiver in the second or third round. But who am I to tell the Bucs what to do? You know? But Luther Burden is still on the board. Dallas Cowboys, there's going to be 11 players taken before the Cowboys pick. 11. Now, I will break them all down, but I can tell you for sure that there's going to be a good running back there. Okay, you got Henderson. You got the Iowa running back. Okay. Caleb Johnson. Actually, you got Caleb Johnson next. Henderson. Probably Henderson may go. I'll be curious to see who Dallas has rated higher, Judkins or Henderson. I like them both. For people to say, well, I guess Henderson. But I think Henderson would make more sense to me, knowing that we already have a Javonte Williams. Everybody keeps bringing up Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders probably won't make the team. Just like one or two of these guards that we brought in. Or these one or two guards that we brought in are going to kick other guys to the curb. Now, let's not forget about trades, draft trades. Okay? Dallas has been rumored to have a couple things. Either the Dallas Cowboys said it, either during the draft or after the draft. So they're talking about next year's draft capital, which is going to cost you a round higher. So if you're talking a third or fourth round pick as opposed to a fifth round pick. So again, Dallas has 2 picks tonight, and then they have 7 picks tomorrow. So they got 9 picks left to go. I would expect them to try and trade up into the 4th round, maybe using some next year's capital or a player, or just, I don't know what teams want. We have plenty of ammo to go get who we want. The Giants, they did what I said. I want to see somebody else put themselves out there. Okay, it's very hard not to know from afar what a team really thinks because of all these smoke screens. But I think I nailed it pretty good. Them trading back in at I said 21. Giants traded back in with Houston to 23, and they got their quarterback. Not Shedeur Sanders. I said it could be either one. So I think it was a good day for the Giants. I think the Washington Commanders fell flat on their face yet again, but we kind of knew it, right? They didn't have a lot of picks. I thought it was simply, and I feel bad for Momo. God bless you, Momo. But I feel bad because I was laughing, actually, because he hammered the Tyler Booker pick, like loyal Cowboy hammered the Tyler Booker pick, when Tyler Booker was the best at his position coming out, right? Just like the Eagles, Jihad Campbell. You can say whatever you want about the shoulder surgery. Let's not be these people who pick and make fun of the pick when you don't have a clue, or you're just being a troll, Hamid. Jihad Campbell was the best at his position. Now, linebacker in recent years, you don't normally take him in round 1, but when you're picking at 32, after winning Super Bowl, okay, in a draft where there's not a lot of deep first-round graded talent, and he's not a first-round talent. He's more of a second round. So, again, they weren't going to get him with their second pick, right? So you have to draft a round higher. Kudos to the Eagles for sitting and picking. You know, they jumped up one spot. It cost them one of their 5th round picks. So now the Eagles have 3 5s, and a 2, 3, 4. So they got 6 picks left? Yeah, they got 6 picks left. So they'll I expect them not to move around as much as people think now. I thought they would have moved around more. The cost of doing business was kind of ridiculous. But, again, getting back to the NFC East, Dallas got the best guard in the draft. Just look at the beast. Look at Dane Brugler's stack. They got the best guard. He's a plug-and-play guard who will help you against the beasts that we have to face, like what the Eagles have, what the Giants have, and what the Commandos have. What's a lot of this schedule we have? The Eagles got the best linebacker. There you go. You know what I'm saying? There you go. What did Giants do? Giants improved. Now, Drew, it's a little nuts with Jackson Dart looked like Macaulay Culkin. I think that, again, Jackson Dart going to have to run. Giants need some offensive linemen. So, I like Jackson Dart. I do. I still think you should probably have went Shedeur Sanders. Just my opinion. I think Shedeur Sanders has a bit more of a pedigree. But love the pick. I know Cop Pizzle's happy. And the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are not great with what they did. Again, maybe they should have taken Josh Simmons. No, they go what? Josh Connerly? I don't mind Josh Connerly. But it was funny how Momo says our pick was horrible, and then he goes out and gets the second. At least we got the best. Like a glove. At least we went out and got the best guy at our position. We got the best guy at our pick at his position. Eagles got the best guy, right, at his position at the time that they made their pick. Giants, okay, they took the best guy with Abdul Carter, and then they traded back up and took their guy. You got to appreciate the Giants being aggressive and getting their guy. Washington Commanders, they took Josh Connerly. When Josh Simmons was on the board and a better football player. Okay? A better football player. There's a reason why Kansas City traded back with the Eagles. It was a smart trade. Obviously, everybody in the chat was right. There was a team that was trying to get ahead, that was working with Kansas City to get ahead for Jihad Campbell. A team at the top of the second round. So, whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. Eagles fell for it, gave up one of their 5ths. That's why you want the comp picks, to do those little moves exactly like that. We're going to have to use 2 of them to get back into the 4th round if we want to. And I think we need to. And then you have 3 7s. You have 2 6s. You can get back into the 5th and get rid of some of those 7s, in my opinion. Will they do that? No, I think they will do a trade for next year's assets and this year's assets. I think they do a trade for next year's assets. I think you could see TJ Bass on the move for a late round pick. So stay tuned. We'll have a lot, to come forward. I'm a little out of it. Sorry, I need a haircut. I know my hair Doesn't look too bad, but it's kind of wacky. But yeah, I'm working on 4 hours sleep, maybe a little more. So stay tuned on that, everybody. Just be happy that they went and got the best player at their position, people. Stop overthinking it. Luther Burden is still on the board. If I told you that we got Luther Burden at 44, would you be happy? Would you be happy if I said that Luther Burden, now, he may go, and that's fine. I don't necessarily need Luther Burden. I want a big-bodied guy, but he's dynamic with the ball in his hand. Luther Burden probably has a higher ceiling than a Golden and Egbuka. Egbuka has a high floor, low ceiling. Egbuka is not going to, my opinion, he's not going to just go nuts. He's going to come in to be a solid number 2 wide receiver. Luther Burden? Well, now you're talking about Steve Smith Jr., in my humble opinion. Not to mention there's other big-time receivers out there that I love. And we'll break it all down tonight at 6:30. I'll talk to you later. Game time, otherwise known as the Mailman. Late.
Grab his dick and twist it!
Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude. This is too much.
Twist that dick!
Twist his dick!
Twist his dick!
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, dick twist!